Alright guys, so it's the middle of summer. You got a feel-like temperature today of 101 degrees. I think right now it's 94 degrees temperature, and then add the humidity to it and it feels like 101. But I just got a call from a farmer. He's got some beavers stopping up rice levees. So we're gonna get loaded up and go see about making some beaver sets in the middle of summer. I've just grabbed a few things. What I'm hoping to do is set everything up with snares. I went ahead and grabbed a milk crate of 330s and a milk crate of footholds. And then we got our stakes over here and our setters for our 330s in case we need them. Got us a bundle of wire for our snares, a couple of different sets of pliers, cutting tools, just some extra chain and some extra quick links, split rings and anchors and chain. Just really don't know what we're going to need until we get there. But we're going to head over there and see about getting some summertime beaver sets put out. Alright guys, so we made it over here to this farm. As you can see over here, we've got this rice field. They do got it flooded with water right now. And we're driving down this field road to get back here. The farmer left some flags on the levees, that they're having trouble with. But on this side, we've got a huge, one of the main watershed ditches that come through the county here on this side. And then the beaver are coming out of it, and they're coming over into these rice fields. You can see this spill right here that the farmers got made. What's happening, that beaver's coming in and closing those spills off, building the water up on one side of the levee, not letting the field flood evenly. And it causes an issue. They got to get out here every day and dig those out. And it's just a big hassle for the farmer. So we're going to get down here and find where they're having trouble at, and see about getting some sets made and see if we can help them get these beavers caught out of here. Now this time of year, it's fairly easy to find the trails that they're using with all the green grass and beaver constantly coming up out of this ditch. I'll show you when we get down here. Here's where the farmer's actually pumping out of the ditch into the field. So he's pumping water out of this big ditch over here into this field. And that's where them beavers will hear that water moving, and they'll get them moving over here, seeing what's going on, and trying to stop up and hold it where the beaver want it to be. Here's another one of the spills here. It's open, hasn't been messed with. But we'll get on down here. But like I was saying, the trail's coming out of this ditch. The grass will be beat down really well. It'll be really obvious, the trails that they're using to come up out of this big ditch over into this field. So it's not going to be too difficult to catch. Summertime beaver here in the south is hard to catch with lure. So I usually just try to do blind sets, set their trails and get them caught that way. Don't use any scent at all down here in the south. I can see one of his flags up here, so I'll get back with you here in a minute, and we'll get out here and we'll see what's going on, see what's going to be the best way to set it up and get these beaver caught. Oh, here we are now. We're pulling up here to this flag. And I've never been here. I've never set this before, so this is all brand new to me, and I'll kind of walk through with you and tell you what I'm thinking as we look at it and get it figured out. Alright guys, you can see right up here. I'll have to get my boots on here in a minute. Let's see if I can get over here to it and show you. You can hear the pump running over here that's pumping the water out of the ditch over into the field. Right up here's the issue that they have. Those beaver coming here, pulling these rice stubble up, shoving it in these spillways and stopping it up. And farmers got to come out here every day and clean these spillways up. So what we're going to do, actually right about where that grass is at right there, between the grass and the dirt, it'd be a good spot for a 330 on this side. And probably just a little bit farther down on this other side, we'll probably put another 330 in there beside that clump of grass. You can tell where they've been pulling it out on this left side of this levee. You can see where they've been pulling that rice out, plumb out into the field. So we'll get both of these little runways set here. Let's go over here and see if we can pick out where they're coming up out of the ditch at. You can see right here is a trail that they're using coming out of there. It's not beat down just too bad yet, so they're just now starting to move in here, cause problems. All we're gonna do is walk over here to this ditch and see if we can find the trail where they're coming up at out of this ditch. A bunch of turtles taking off down there. You can see down here on this island, guys, all those chew sticks. There's probably going to be a bank den over here in this bank on this side, or maybe over on the other side, but they're going to have a house probably right here, and you can see all the food sticks up on that island where they're going up there and chewing on them and eating them. Hopefully you can with this GoPro. It doesn't do real good filming far away, but I believe you can see that. I'm still not seeing a good solid trail where they're coming up out of this ditch. Here's another flag here, so same thing here, guys. This spillway, you can tell they're pulling that rice stubble up and they're shoving it into that spillway trying to hold that water. So we'll do the same thing right here. We'll put a couple of traps in there and see if we can stop that. Good coon trail right here on the high bank of this ditch. If you're trapping coons, this is where you'd want to put sets at on this trail. Alright, right here's a little spot where they're going down in the ditch. And it looks like it's washed off. Can't tell if they're using it anymore. Right now we're in a drought too, so the water is really low. This ditch has usually got a lot more water in it. I'll go ahead and walk this bank on down. I'm not seeing any trails that are coming up out of this big ditch. They could be coming into the rice field on the other side. We'll drive all the way around and see if we can't figure out where they're coming into the field at. Still not seeing any really beat down trails. You'll be able to tell it in this vine, thick green stuff. You'll be able to tell where they were coming in and out of there. Just haven't seen it yet. Here's the pump that the farmer's pumping out of that ditch, pumping over into this field. Here's probably an old trail where they're coming up in and out of there, a wash, and they're using it. But it doesn't look like they're using it right now. And then right here too is going to be it's going to be a coon trail coming in this thick stuff. Walking the high bank on this where they've been coming up. We're gonna get back down here, throw a couple of traps on these fields and get them set up. Then we're gonna continue driving around this field. I almost bet they're not coming up out of this big ditch. I bet they've got another area dammed off over here holding some more water, maybe. They're coming up into the field from this direction. Now, if you guys won't be able to tell it on camera, but there's a couple of deer, 5 or 6 deer down in that other corner down there. But anyway, I think them beaver are probably coming up from this side somewhere over into the field. So we're gonna set up right here by these 2 spillways, get traps, and then we're gonna drive around and see if we can't tell where they're coming into this field at. Get it set up as well. I'll get back with you once I get them sets in and show you what they look like. All right, guys, so we got 2 sets in here. So right here is our spillway. We've got 1 set right here on the other side of this clump of grass. And we've got a 330 set right here. And all we did is come here just like we always do, and we placed that trap down there. And instead of using sticks to secure it, because there's no sticks around, I used my rebar stakes and went through both corners. And we left a little opening here underneath it for them to go through. We covered the top of it. We blocked this side off so we don't want to go through there. Same thing over here on this side. There's our set. We just blocked this side off with these with this rice they've already pulled up, and we left them one little opening there to go through, and that's where we got our trap set gardening. So there's those 2 sets. We're going to move down here to this next spillway and get a couple of more put in there and see if we can't get these beaver caught. Guys, it's so hot out here, my setters, I can barely hang on to my setters. They've been laying in the back of the truck just for the ride over here. It's all I can do to hold on to them long enough to get this lock on there because they're so stinking hot. Alright, a couple of stakes. Let's run out here and find us a spot to set this one. Guys, you can tell, see how clear the water is up here? I mean, just as clear as can be, not muddy at all. And then we look over here on this other side and we can tell it's starting to get dingy. And that's from them beaver coming up and down through here working. Let's see, we're gonna put it on this upper end. As the water's flowing over this direction, when beaver are going to come in from this side to clog it up. But we're just going to go right here in the middle of this thing, and we're going to create us a spot to put this trap. Alright, we want our anchor chain over here toward this levee. Set that trap right down there in the water with the safeties off. Like that there. We're going to take our stake, cram it right down in the corner of that trap, just like we would do with a stick. Same thing on this side. Alright, so we come back here and we're going to get some of the stubble that the beavers have pulled out. We're going to use it to block this down, narrow it down. Let's take a little bit and we'll feed right through the corner of that trap. like that right there, guys. We're gonna leave this top open just a hair, just so it looks like this is the, as you're swimming down through here, they're gonna see this is the opening. Get up here and want to dive down through that opening. So that's set there, and we'll see if it won't catch us a beaver. Now we're just gonna go ahead and drive on around this field, see if we can find where they're coming up through them woods out of that ditch into this field. If we can, we'll probably set some snares on those trails. And I'll show you that as we get around there to it. All right, guys, right down here in this corner is where we just set those two spillways. Now just come on around the edge of this field, and this right here is where those beaver are going to be coming from. Didn't think they were coming out of that ditch. I saw this rise, thought this might have been a watershed here, but well, chances are this is where those beavers are going to be living at. Right here we've got an entrance. Just taking a quick look around here, I don't see any huts, and I'm not going to take the time right now, as hot as it is, to walk around this thing or look at it. Right down here we got some waves. Could have been a fish or possibly a beaver that heard us out here and come out of a bank den. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna see if I can drive on down around here to the other edge of this field, give it all a good look over, and we get back out here early one morning or late one afternoon, we may see about trying to get all the way around this watershed and see if we might can pick up where those beaver are living at. But I did find the next spillway up from where we were at. The beaver had it clogged off too. It looks like it's going to be an end spillway coming out of the field, so I'm going to leave it as it is, not clean it out, and hopefully those beaver will come across it and go to that next one that we've got set, trying to build and hold that water. I'm going to ease on down here and just see what we see, and if I see anything else that looks noticeable that I think you might need to know, or I'll show you guys that. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell it or not, but right out there they go, right out there by the biggest tree, them deer. Hopefully you guys can see them going. Looks like there's about 5 or 6 of them. Those are going to be the same deer that were out here in the edge of this field the whole time we were getting them sets made.